Welcome to Today of All Days, episode 129.
Sorry, I got an email. Today is Take Me Off Your Mailing List Tuesday, the 17th of October, 2017. And today is...
National Edge Day! National Edge Day is an official holiday founded in the early 80s by people who live straight-edge lifestyles. Being straight edge is a subculture of hardcore punk whose followers refrain from using alcohol, tobacco, and other recreational drugs, in reaction to the excesses of punk subculture.
Some even refrain from caffeine, prescription drugs, promiscuous sex, and roughly 75% live on a vegetarian or vegan diet. Some found the straight edge movement had rules and guidelines that were too strict. Thus, counter-movements began.
Bent edge or curved edge was pretty much the antithesis of everything that straight edge was, and so it was pretty much a counter-movement created in 1982. They would purposefully create crazy drug and alcohol-fueled parties to combat everything that straight edge stood for. This actually caught on only a year after the straight edge movement began.
So, straight edge was a counter-movement to the punk movement, and then they basically created more punk movements to counter the straight edge.
Yeah, but it was even more hardcore than it was before. Like, it was more drugs, more alcohol, more crazy, so.
In the early to mid-1990s, straight edge spread from the United States to Northern Europe, Eastern Europe, the Middle East, and South America. The movement mostly died out around the 2000s, but you can still see the impact at your local bars. If you ever have a black X put on the back of your hands due to being underage at a bar, then you have been affected by the movement. This was a common symbol to show that you were part of those dedicated to living an intoxicant-free lifestyle.
I think it's pretty cool because whenever I was in high school and even later on in middle school, people would put the black X's on their hands just to be like, oh yeah, I'm straight edge, and that was like the cool thing. And then some people even put like HC on either side of the X saying that they were hardcore straight edge. All in all, some people thought that it was like a gang, but it wasn't. It was just people saying, you know what, I'm not gonna buy into this whole alcohol, drugs, going crazy, having sex with everybody. I'm gonna live for myself and stay clean until marriage. Pretty cool.
And that brings us to...
Today in History. In 1814, London experienced the Great Beer Flood.
Vats of beer at the Mew & Company brewery burst open and released 610,000 liters of beer into the streets.
The huge influx of beer created a nearly 15-foot tall wave that killed 8 people. It's a shame they couldn't just hop over the wave.
And now we're gonna hop on over to...
Information Overload Day! This holiday is about taking a step back from our phones, computers, and tablets in order to evaluate and get a real idea of how information is affecting us on a daily basis.
We all know that it's not quite healthy to check your messages and social media alerts consistently throughout the day, especially first thing in the morning. What we're only recently learning is that a main culprit in high stress levels is work-related emails.
That's right. Today is the day to band together with your coworkers and address the boss head on. Tell him or her that 28% of an employee's work week is reading and responding to email. That's over 11 hours out of a 40-hour work week. That's too many emails. That's too many memorandums.
Around 24% of an employee's workload is email. Most companies these days use email to send updates or additional tasks to their workers, but it takes at least 2 minutes to get back on the original task after stopping to read email. And that doesn't seem like much, but with the average user checking their email 11 times per hour, that adds up quickly.
And I've worked a job where email was like a really, really large part of how communication was happening. And it's true. As soon as you have to stop one task, you click over tabs, or they have you log back in every single time that you want to check your email. It is crazy. You can easily spend $5 just opening it up, clicking inbox, and then it's like, oh, now I finally got to it. Now I gotta go through the whole step again. And they're like, oh, did you get that email? Now it's time for me to check again. Man, just call me. Just call me at that point.
Did you say you could easily spend $5?
5 minutes?
You said $5. You could easily spend $5.
Really?
Yeah, checking your emails.
Well, that's what it turns into. Time is money. Research is beginning to show that when it comes to workplace email, less is more.
So, as you head to the office, veto the memo on this day.
Today of all days.
Today of all days.
And we will see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.